morning. My name is Viviana Marcela Zanahoria for fun. This video is because I would like to talk about the 4CS frameworks in this subject. So I'll start talking about and mentioned the 4CS. Okay, there is the focus on this project. Okay, so I don't want to say that this is the only one topic that I would talk about, but I would like to remind that this is the essential, one of the essential topic into this lecture. Okay, because this is the base. This is the base at this moment. Okay, so I will talk about the 4 ACS. The first one we start is with a context. Okay, so it means that the students creating their own knowledge and understanding with the idea of developing their own skill. Personalized learning. So, okay. What is the idea is that the students be able to create their own project, process, and understanding, with the idea of developing their skills by themselves. So, what we mean that when we are at home, we can start or we can continue developing our skills through different tools, digital tools or physical tools or whatever. So the idea is this one. Okay. The next one is cognition. So the content is done thinking about the learning process. So it should be analyzed for its linguistic demands. This is really important. Well, as they say with the first one, because what's the idea? Okay, the idea is as a teacher is to to make some meaningful material for the students. That's the idea. The idea is to do an useful material for them. So, the idea with the content, as with the connection, is to do the correct material, thinking about the profile of the students. So, in cognition, the idea is to be focused on the ages, the background, talking about the knowledge, a culture, before doing the material or before creating the material for them and for our classes, because we cannot be thinking about just ourselves, about my knowledge, my skills, and doing that material with those aspects, because maybe my students have different aspects than me. So always as a teacher will be thinking about them, about their needs, their profile. Okay, so and the linguistic demands. Okay, so that's the idea. Communication. Interaction in the learning process is essential and it should be related in the learning context. So, the interaction is as important as the above ones. Okay, so the idea is to relate all the skills and the abilities into the material. Okay, sometimes it isn't easy and sometimes it is impossible, but as the lecturer said, maybe we are not able to put all the first years into one lesson, but we can like schedule, divide, or organize these years in different lessons, in order to take all of them, in order. Okay, so the communication is really important. The idea is to relate it with the learning context as well. We can use whatever tools that we think that is useful for them, knowing their profile, their knowledge, and their capacities as well. Okay, culture. Well, intercultural awareness is essential to clear. Okay, so when we talk about the culture, we want to mention that when we are learning a new language, we are learning not just linguistic part, we are learning their culture, and all those details which identify that a country. Okay, so the culture is really important in order to face the reality. Okay, and not just knowing the theoretical grammatical part. That's really important as well, to be able to act, to respond in the real life. Okay, and knowing some tips as well about the new language. Okay. Okay, so now I would like to mention something about quality principles. Okay, rich input. Meaningful inputs is essential through the language acquisition while connecting with the daily lives of our students and the areas of interest. So, when we talk about this kind of quality principles, we should go to the scaffolding learning, okay? To the rich interaction and push output, and adding the intercultural dimension. Okay, so scaffolding learning, they need scaffolding to help them cope with language input in all sorts. The quantity and intensity of scaffolding can be reduced as student language skill advanced. Scaffolding serves several purposes. So what's the idea with scaffolding? Is to help them to face, okay, and to go ahead with the language, okay. The idea of this scaffolding is to be reduced at the same time as the students' skills go higher. So that's the idea. Rich interaction and push output long suggests that feedback obtained during conversational interaction promotes interlanguage development because interaction connects input, internal learner capacities introducing the clip, a particularly selective attention in output in productive ways. Okay, I agree with the feedbacks as a student who I am right now. I always think that the feedbacks are essential, are really important for us because that's the moment of the reality. That's the moment of the reality where we can recognize our weaknesses, and where we can think about those aspects which we should get better, through the time. And so also that's a time, when the teacher do some suggestions, give some suggestions, and some tips, for getting better the skills. So the feedback is a useful and important time for us as students. Okay, so the students should learn the culture of the other countries, but there are linguistic and non-linguistic codes which need to be taught as well. So the idea is to work and teach the most aspects about the language as a teacher can as well. Okay, so sustainable learning. Teacher should make sure that the students are able to talk about the topic in both L1 and L2. So the idea as a teacher is to be able that the students, are able to keep and to maintain the knowledge. Okay, so it is sustainable. It's not easy, but with the practice, with the material, we can get that goal. Okay, so students need to be shown how to express their thoughts in an increasingly complex manner. Okay, the idea is to get higher with the knowledge, okay, and teach how they can express their own feelings, thoughts, expressions, in the real context. We normally say or mention this way as a complex manner. But I always say that it's not a complex, this is the real one. It's like as when we talk in Spanish, that we normally express feelings, not in a complex way, but in a real one. So that's the idea, is to be able, or to help them to be able to express the ideas or the feelings, the emotion that they have at that moment, and being able to talk about them with anyone. So that's the idea. Okay, what are the components of creating an adaptive didactic learning material? So there are different components of creating and adapting didactic learning material. As a teacher, we should identify the students and their different profiles, as I already said some minutes before. So, using technological tools according to the levels and creating challenging material for them, making sure the input and output involved in the activity. So that's the idea. We talk about a clear pyramid. Okay, so we can see the figure here. we can see 1, 2, 3, 4.